Hello everyone. Now, I already did a review of the Pope's Exorcist, but as I saw some interviews with Russell Crowe, and as I said before, I wasn't really a big fan of him. Obviously, some of his movies, I really like, and obviously the one that got the Academy Award, A Beautiful Thing. He was absolutely brilliant in that movie. It was one of the best movies he deserved the Academy Award. But I think he definitely deserves the Academy Award now for the Pope's Exorcist. Now, I'm not a big fan of the Exorcist movies. A lot of them are no good. Only the original and Exorcist 3. And this one by far beats those two, in my personal opinion, because his performance is from a real live person. This person was born in 1925. He had a calling to be a minister, but the minister said no, so he went out and he became a journalist. He was in the military, but he still had the calling. So when he came back to say, I still have the calling, he says, now you've experienced life, I will give you, so I will make sure you now become a minister because you have the experience of life experience. And that's what he lacked when he first had the calling. So he became ordained in 1958. And he was a very interesting priest, a minister. He was nice. He was nice. He drove a scooter everywhere, one of those electric scooters. He never really drove a car. I don't think he ever even had a license. And he had a sense of humor about him that people really liked. And he became an exorcist when he was 60. And he exorcised more demons than anyone within the church. And he was in a sector called the Chiefs Vatican Files, or Chief Vatican's Pope's Exorcist. And these files are based on true stories, and he's written a lot. He even had some books that he wrote. And he wrote a lot of articles because he was a journalist, but he also written books about his life. And then he died in 2016. And his name is Gabriele Amorth. If I can pronounce his name correctly. I have a pronunciation problem. And these are from the real files. So when he died in 2016, and they made the movie, a company wanted his story. So they bought the rights to make the movie. They first gave the script to Russell Crowe, and Russell Crowe was like, well, I've never really done horror before. In my original review, I said he was excited to do it. Not at first. He went and he talked to all his friends, realized that the more he got to know the man through his friends, the more he wanted to be him. He read his journals. He read a lot of things about him. So he was in doing this. Now, has he ever experienced a supernatural event? Well, apparently he did. He did a movie called Unhinged. And Unhinged is a very good movie. I haven't seen it. It's on Netflix. And the cast rented a house. And in the house, they experienced light flickering, lights going off and on, and some other odd events. The pool was much hotter than it needed to be. I think he said that they had to put ice in the pool so they could do swimming and stuff like that. So then the cast started talking, going, all these weird things are happening. Apparently the person who rented the house was a guy named Will Smith, not the actor. And he was a football player. I never knew there was anyone named Will Smith as a football player before. But he rented the house, and he died during a road rage incident. And that's interesting in general, because Unhinged is about road rage. So that actually creeped Russell Crowe out quite a bit. And at that point, he was like, oh, that was his first supernatural experience. I'm not sure if he had any on the set, because now I'm going to get into the story of the file. There's this house that the Vatican always had trouble with. Weird things have always happened in this mansion of a house. And there is a mother, and there was a father. The young boy, the son, witnessed the father's death, so he doesn't speak. And he has an older sister, and the older sister is kind of rebellious, but they have no money. After the father died, they had no money. So I'm not sure if they inherited the house, I can't remember, or they bought the house to flip it. But whatever they did, they had construction workers there. And the construction workers were experiencing really weird stuff going on, so they left, especially after the boy, who couldn't talk after his father's death, he started to talk, and he was possessed. So they brought a priest in, threw the priest out, and the exorcist just kind of whipped him out of the room and said, "Wrong priest," because he was asking for a priest. So now we go to the Vatican, where Gabriele, the priest, got in trouble. Now, his boss is the Pope. So this scene was very powerful in the movie that I actually really, really like, and he definitely deserves an Academy Award for his role. Russell Crowe. And this scene alone is very powerful. He goes in, he sits in front of a council. I guess it's a council type thing that the church has. And they're questioning him about his methods. And then finally he just got up and says, "Look, if you have a problem with me, talk to my boss, the Pope." And he walks out, and they're saying, "We're not done yet, we're not done yet," because the Pope is his boss. Then they got him to go to the house. And as the Pope said, "We've had issues with this house mansion before." That's where it gets really interesting. So I hope they make more of this guy's true life story. It's a fantastic movie. It comes out. I hope it's a huge success. I hope he wins an Academy Award. He deserves one again for his role. And like I said, if you haven't seen Unhinged, see it. It's an incredible movie. And stay creepy, everyone. And also, before I forget, he got kind of creeped out when he was making Unhinged with that story. I think I've already said that. But if you also don't believe in God, some interviewers have said, since I've seen the movie, I now believe in God. Now, my personal opinion is, yes, it will make you believe if you don't believe in God. I'm not going to give you my opinion about God, but it will make you believe by reading his books and watching this movie. And Exorcist 1 is brilliant, the very first one that ever came out. And Exorcist 3, in my opinion, is my favorite. Exorcist 3 has something that none of them have, and I used to go a lot to matinees when I was a kid to see it over and over again. But check out the Pope's Exorcist. It is going to be worth it to see it in the theater. Bye for now, everyone. Check out my channel. A lot to see. A lot of reviews that I get to see early. I'm kind of really happy about that. And stay creepy. And don't watch the Pope Exorcist alone. Bye for now, everyone.